Hello, students, boys and girls. It is so nice to see you all have graduated from the primary level to the middle school level. So now here in middle school, you will have more interesting things to learn, and especially in science, you're going to learn something really very, very interesting because you will have topics related to physics also, chemistry, biology. So it's going to be really very interesting. So we will begin the first chapter of fiber to fabric in science. Okay. So all of you are very familiar with these two words, fiber and fabric. Yes. So fabric is the material. We all like to wear new clothes, buy new clothes, and whether there is an occasion or no occasion, we love to buy and wear new clothes. Yes. So all these clothes which you are wearing, or all the clothes which we use in the uh, decoration or at home, for it may be for curtains, it may be for mats, it may be for tablecloths, anything, everything is made of some fabric. Yes, and that fabric has some fiber in it. So we are going to learn more about how this fiber is converted into fabric, how the fiber becomes fabric. Okay, so let's see. So the various types which you are familiar with: cotton fabric, linen, jute, wool, silk. Then we also have knitted. So there is woolen. Then we also have, there are many types of fabric. So we have cotton, linen, jute, wool, silk. Then we have woven fabric, the knitted fabric. So there are many different types of fabric. Now let's see in detail about how this fiber is converted into fabric. Okay. So if you take a piece of cloth or an old piece of cloth or any cloth and try to pull out the thread from the cloth, you will see that you can pull out a single thread also. Yes. And you will see that that thread also, again, if you press it very hard or rub it on the table, you can see that that thread also is splitting out into, the thread will split out into these types of fibers. Okay, so those are the actual fibers of that material. So fibers can be of this type, they can be twisted filament, or they can, this is the yarn, but then this yarn is made up of fibers. So these fibers, fiber is the actual or the basic material for any fabric. Okay, fiber is the basic material. From the fiber, the yarn is made. From fiber, we go to yarn. Okay, the fiber then is converted into yarn. So the yarn can be of many types. It may be like this, untwisted yarn, or it may be a cotton yarn, it may be a twisted filament yarn, it may be again another high bulk yarn will have a lot of fibers which are intertwined. Okay, and then woolen yarn will have some more pores in it. So this way the fibers are converted into yarn. So now let us concentrate on the fibers, which is the basic material or the basic of any fabric. Okay, so fiber again can be classified into natural fibers and synthetic fibers. So the natural fibers we are familiar with is cotton, jute, flax, then hemp, and coir. Coir is coconut from the fiber we get from the coconut. Okay, we'll look into the details of all this. So first you should understand what is a fiber. So a fiber is the smallest visible unit of any textile project. It is the smallest visible unit. So whatever you can see in a material, as I told you, if you pull out a material from a cloth, okay, a small, you will see a long thread-like structure coming out. So that is the fiber. That is the fiber. So that is a visible unit, something which we can see. So for any textile product, for any cloth, for any fabric, for any material, what is required is this fiber. So this is the smallest visible unit for any textile product. Then fibers, they are flexible and they may be spun into yarn. Now fibers are the basic structures which are converted into yarn. Okay, and this yarn is made into fabrics. So first is the fiber. This is the basic unit of any material. Then from fiber it goes to yarn. Next step is making yarn, and the third and the final step is the fabric. And of course that fabric is used to make different types of clothes which we love to wear. Yes, okay. So fiber is the smallest visible unit of any textile product. And what is yarn? Yarn is a long continuous length of interlocked fibers. They are interlocked because from the fibers we are making yarn. So these fibers we don't use as a single unit. We are going to intertwine them. We are going to use many fibers together. Okay, it may be rolled out, it may be interlocked, it may be made into a design, but then this yarn is long continuous and it is interlocked fibers which are suitable for the production of textile, sewing, crocheting, knitting, weaving, embroidery. All this we use this yarn. So we are using the yarn which has fibers. Are you understanding the difference between fiber and yarn? So fiber is the basic unit of any textile product which is visible, and yarn is the fibers which have been interlocked continuously. It's a continuous long thread like structure, and these, it is made up of these fibers. Okay, so from fibers we get the yarn, and this yarn, it can be used in sewing, it can be used to make fabric, it can be used for crochet work. Crocheting is crochet work, the thread work which is used. Then knitting, all of you know about knitting, you're familiar with sweaters and all which we wear, socks, sweaters, they are also knit. Cotton knit also, you can find woolen also. Then weaving, embroidery is also done. A lot of embroidery these days, even on shirts and all, embroidery is very in vogue, in fashion. Yes, or rope making, very interesting. Rope making also has all the yarn where the fibers are interlocked, and then we get these materials. Then the thick spun fibers, if the fibers are very thickly spun, that means rolled out, then it can be made into a knitting yarn. And if the spun fibers become very fine, very thin, very delicate, then it becomes what is known as the thread. So thread is also fiber, and knitting wool or the knitting yarn is also made of fibers, but the knitting yarn is thick and it is thickly spun, whereas the thin spun fibers are known as the threads. So sewing thread. So if you see here, these are all various types of yarn. So these have the fibers in it. So this is very thin if you see, and this is slightly thick. Yes, it is more like rope like. And here if you see, there are many colors also. So various colors also, that is dyeing which is done later on also. Okay, and if you see here, the fibers, they will look like this. These are all fibers, and from this the yarn is made, and the yarn can be thin or thick, or it can be spun in any way it is required, and then it changes or it can be converted into fabric. So have you understood the difference between fiber and yarn? Very important. Fiber is the basic visible unit of any textile structure. Okay, or product, textile product. And fibers, they are flexible and they are spun into yarn. They are spun. You have to use this technical term called spun. Once the fibers are spun, they change into yarn. Okay. So fiber is spun into yarn. So fiber to yarn and then yarn to fabric. So for that, what is the basic requirement? We require fibers. Now, where do we get these fibers from? That is what we are going to see in this chapter. Where is this fiber obtained from? Okay, where can we get these fibers? Now, fibers can be of majorly two types. That is natural fibers and man-made fibers. These are also known as synthetic fibers. Okay, synthetic fibers. So natural fibers are vegetable origin, that is from the plants which we get, and they can be animals origin, which we get from the animals, or they can be mineral origin. Okay, so fibers basically, now the basic material we require for fabric is fiber. Okay, now fiber, where can we get the fiber from? We can either get it from the natural products, or we can get from the, or it can be man-made, which is synthetic. So from natural, if we are talking about, where can we get, what is the source for these fibers? What is the source? They can be plants. We can get the fiber from the plants naturally, or from the animals naturally, or from the minerals. So from the plants or vegetable origin, when we're talking about, we get from the cotton, linen, jute, flax, hemp, coir, ramlet, then banana. All these are the vegetable origin fibers. So we can get fibers from these: cotton, linen, jute plant, cotton plant, jute plant, linen plant. We can get fibers from these vegetable origin, or we can get from these plants the fibers. Then from the animals, the fibers we get are silk, wool, then we get camel hair. Yes. So all these are the fibers we get from the animals, that is silk, wool, and camel hair. Then mineral origin are asbestos and glass. These are again mineral origin. So here, and then synthetic, when we are talking about, that is man-made. Man has also made, tried making in the labs and all, we have started making the fibers. So they are regenerated fiber, they can be, or synthetic fibers. Synthetic fiber are polyamides, polyesters. So they have a lot of carbon compounds in them. Okay. And acrylic, then lycra, spandex, polythene, plastic, polythene. We know plastic is not grown on plants, isn't it? Plastic is not obtained from the plants or the animals, but plastic is man-made. Plastic, we have made the plastic in the labs using polythene, polyethylene. It is a carbon compound. Okay, so these are the synthetic fibers. Now we'll be concentrating in this class. You need to know about the plant fibers, which is natural fibers. That is, how is cotton fiber obtained, and jute obtained from the jute plant. So these two fibers we are going to learn about in detail. So fibers can be classified into natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Natural fibers again can be plant-based fibers or animal-based fibers or mineral-based. So plant-based fibers means we get plant from the plants like cotton, jute, linen, banana, coconut. We can get the fibers. So they are all plant-based. Animal-based is silk, wool, which we get from the animals, are the fibers we get from the animals. Okay. So here we are going to do about cotton and jute. You're going to learn in detail about how we can get the cotton fiber. How do we get the jute fiber? So we have seen that the natural fibers, they can be even sugarcane, then it's called bagasse fiber, then kennel fiber, then banana fiber, jute fiber, hemp fiber. So we are concerned with this jute fiber, and of course, this is the cotton ball. Okay, this is the cotton ball, and we are going to learn about this fiber, how we can get this fiber from the cotton plant. Okay, so this is what you need to learn. So cotton, we know it is a natural fiber. Number one, it is a natural fiber. Why is it called natural fiber? Because it is plant-based. It can be grown. It is grown by the cotton plant. Okay, cotton plants are grown in places having black soil and warm climate. Now, in India, where do you think the black soil and warm climate? Warm climate definitely in the south, in Andhra, Telangana, everywhere. Then Maharashtra is the biggest producer of, or the largest producer of cotton. So there you find a lot of black soil, and of course the climate is also warm and of course humid also, but then mostly warm. Yes. So what happens is the fruits of the cotton plant are known as the cotton balls. Here the ball spelling is not BALL, it is BOLL. Okay, the cotton ball. It is the fruit. So cotton is produced from the fruit. Cotton fiber is a natural fiber, and it is produced from the fruit of the cotton plant. So these fruits of the cotton plant are known as cotton balls, and they are about the size of a lemon. You know, lemon, nimbu. So they are of that size. Then, so what happens? If you see a cotton plant, it will appear like this. This is a cotton plant, cotton crop, we'll say, where there are many cotton plants. See, it appears as if snow, they are all covered with snow. Yes, the appearance is like that. When you go to a cotton field where the cotton crop is growing, you will have a feeling as if they have been covered with snow. But also they are so white in color, all these cotton balls, all the cotton fruit. Okay, so it looks like this. So after maturing, this is after maturing, they look like this. After they're fully grown, they are ready to be made into the fiber. So after maturing, the balls burst open. They will burst open, and the seeds covered with cotton can be seen. Okay. So what happens is the fruit. We know that cotton we are getting from the fruit of the plant. So that cotton fruit, once at maturity, the cotton fruit will open up. And inside there is a seed with the cotton cover, with the white covering. Okay. The seeds are covered with the cotton can be seen. Now, we cannot use, have you seen any cotton material, cotton shirt or cotton thread even at home? You know, you have the cotton reel, cotton thread with which you stitch your buttons or anything which needs to be stitched. Do you find anything rough seeds along with the seeds? Have you seen? No, we don't see. So where do the seeds go? The seeds are removed. Okay. So the seed is there, and around the seed there is cotton. But then that seed is removed. So from these balls, cotton is usually picked by hand. Okay. So the cotton balls is the fruit. They mature. Once they mature, they will open out. And inside there is a seed with the cotton. Now that seed with the cotton is removed from these balls by hand. It is not done by machine. Again, it is done by hand only. From each and every cotton fruit, the seed is removed with the cotton. Then the fibers are then separated from the seeds by combing. Combing, just like we comb our hair, you know, they will also be combed so that the seeds can be removed. And this process of removing the seed from the cotton is known as ginning. Ginning of cotton. What is ginning of cotton? Removing the seed from the cotton is known as ginning of cotton. Now this ginning can be done either using a machine, as these days it is used, or it can also be done by the hand. Okay, just by using, a sharp object so that the seeds can be removed from the cotton. It can be done by hand also. By machine, it is done this way, where when this machine, the cotton with the seed is placed here, and the machine is, it starts moving or it starts working, it starts functioning, then the cotton will be collected here and the seeds will remain in a chamber. Okay, so fibers are separated from the seeds. So those cotton, the seed has got the cotton fibers. Now those fibers are separated from the seeds using either, they're done either by hand or by using a machine. So what happens first in the field, we'll see the cotton is like this. Okay, then we see that the cotton seeds will look like this when they are removed, and then we have the cotton where the seed has been removed. It looks like this, and then finished product is this. This is how it looks. Okay, the seed is removed and the seeds look like this. Now these cotton seeds, they are not thrown away. They have a lot of oil in them. So cotton seed oil is also made using the cotton seeds. So it is not that they are waste. They can be used to make oil. So this is what happens, and this there we get the cotton fiber. So have what are the steps? First is the cotton is grown as a crop in the fields. Once the cotton is reaches its maturity stage, then the cotton fruit known as the cotton balls, okay, they burst open at maturity. When they mature, when they are fully grown, they will burst out. And inside the fruit, we see the seed, just like any other fruit. Mango, inside there is the seed is there. Then you see plum, seed is inside. Similarly, in cotton ball, which is the cotton fruit which has matured, inside there is the seed, and around the seed there is this cotton fiber. So in order to separate the seed from the fiber, a process called ginning of cotton is used. Ginning is the process. Now ginning can be done either by hand or by using a machine. Okay, and finally the seeds are separated and the cotton fiber is obtained. So this is how cotton is obtained from the plant. We have got the cotton fiber. We are still at the fiber stage. Okay, we are still at the fiber stage. So this is how we get the cotton fiber. Then the second natural fiber which we are talking about is jute. Jute is again a natural fiber. It is grown by the jute plant. So it is obtained from the stem of the jute plant. Jute is obtained from the stem of the jute plant, whereas cotton was obtained from the fruit of the cotton plant known as the cotton ball, B-O-L-L. Okay, so jute is obtained from the stem of the jute plant. Then it is this jute plants, they are cultivated during the rainy season. Okay, and so because of the cultivation and the rainy season, depending on which parts receive more rains, you can see more of jute being grown in West Bengal, Bihar and Assam regions of India. Then jute plant, it is cultivated during the rainy season, but it is harvested during the flowering stage. Okay, it is harvested during the flowering stage. Harvesting is when the plants are fully grown and they are ready to be cut. Okay, so this harvesting is done at the flowering stage. Harvesting, when I talk of, you would have heard of many harvest festivals. Yes, there are many harvest festivals we all celebrate. Pongal is a harvest festival in Telangana. Then Bihu is a harvest festival in the northeast, Assam. And then you have in Punjab, you have Lori. They say it's a harvest festival. And we Indians, we celebrate all these harvest festivals in different states. Harvesting is the time when the crop is ready to be cut, and then it will be again, it will undergo the other processes before it is sold. Okay, so harvesting of jute plant, when is it done? It is done at the flowering stage. So when it is flowering, when the flowers appear on the plant, then it is cut. So what happens? We are not interested in the flowers. Why we are saying flowering stages? When it is flowering stage, that means the crop is fully grown. It is ready to be cut. It is ready to be harvested. Okay, so we wait till the flowering stage. But we are not interested in the flowers. We are interested in what? In the stem. Because from the stem we get the jute fibers. Yes, from the stem. Okay, so the stems of the harvested plant. Now these stems or the bark is very thick for these jute plant. Okay, so inside this bark there are jute fibers. Now these jute fibers from inside the bark of this, the jute fibers, okay, have to be removed. Yes. From this, the jute fibers have to be removed. This is the bark. So it has a thick stem and inside we have the jute fibers. So jute fibers have to be separated. So for that, what is done is the stem is of the harvested plants, they are immersed in water. They are kept dipped in water. So what happens is the outer stem will start rotting. You must have even experienced this at home. No? If we have plants and all, if I water the plants too much, what will happen? The roots will rot. Right? So we have to give the right amount of water. So here, deliberately, because we want the fibers, what is done is the stems of the harvested plants, they are immersed in water for days together, for a few days, so that the outer bark of it, this bark which is there, this gets rotted. Once it gets rotted, it can be removed and the fibers inside can be separated by hand. Fibers are removed by hand from the bark. The bark is rotted, so easily it can be separated. Rotted and you can say वो पूरा जो है वो गल जाता है. गलने के बाद उसको निकाल देते हैं एंड अंदर जो रस्सी जैसा फाइबर जो होता है उसको निकालते हैं. So the fibers are separated using hand. Okay, so actually the stages, if you see in the production processing of jute, would be first is cultivation. Of course, it is cultivated in areas where there is a lot of rain, and then it is harvested. Harvested when? During the flowering, when it is start flowering. And then it undergoes a process called retting. Now this retting is because that bark, number one, it has to be rotted. Secondly, the stem and the bark also has a sticky substance, for jute. And so to remove the sticky substance, it undergoes a process called retting, where by immersing in water, by soaking in water, the bark rots and even that sticky substance also can be removed. Okay. Then after that, it is stripping. We are taking out all the fibers from it. Then it is washing. Now these fibers which have been removed from there have to be washed, and then after washing, now immediately those fibers cannot be used. Again, they have to be dried. Yes, they undergo process of drying, and then after that it is baling and packing. That is, the fiber is spun into or rolled out into a bale, and it is packed. Then it is stored. So this is how the jute fiber is obtained from the jute plant. So which part of the jute plant? The stem. We are using the stem of the jute plant to get the jute fiber. Number two, we are harvesting the plant at what time? At the flowering stage. That is when the flowers appear on the plant, then the harvesting of jute takes place. Then once the stem is removed, what is done? It is soaked in water. It is immersed in water so that it rots, and the fiber which is inside the bark, inside the stem, can be removed, and that fiber is known as the jute fiber. Okay, so what have we done till now? We have done about what are the two types of fiber. Firstly, what is fiber? Fiber is a basic unit of any textile product which is visible, which can be seen. From fiber, we make the yarn. Okay, yarn. And yarn can be made either thick or thin, depending on how it is to be produced. Okay, then from the yarn, the fabric is made. So now, where do we get this fiber from? We can get the fiber from naturally from the plants or animals, or it can be made synthetically, man-made fibers. So natural fibers from the plants are cotton and jute. Yes, cotton we get from the cotton plant, which is grown in the black soil. Okay, or wherever parts of India where we have black soil. And cotton, the part of the plant which is used for the cotton fabric, to obtain the cotton fabric, is the cotton ball, which is the fruit. Inside the fruit, there is the seed which has the white cotton fibers. Okay, now from these, once the fruit at maturity, what happens is the fruit breaks open and this we can see the seed with the cotton fiber. Now that seed with the cotton fiber is hand-picked, removed from the fruit or separated from the fruit using man or using the, it is hand-picked. That means by hands only it can be done. We cannot use any machines for that to remove the or separate the seed from the fruit. Once the seed with the cotton is separated, now the seeds from the cotton fiber have to be separated. So a process called ginning is used. So the process of removing the seed from the cotton fiber is known as ginning. Okay, this ginning either it can be done by hand, or it can be or done by machines. Okay, using a ginner. Then we get the seeds also, we get the cotton. So cotton fiber is obtained. We are still in the fiber stage. Okay. Then if we go to jute, which is another natural fiber. So we get jute from the jute plant. Now, which part of jute plant? We get it from the stem of the jute plant. So the stem, inside the stem is thick. Inside the stem, there are these jute fibers. Okay. So what is done at the harvesting time? When it is mature, the jute plant, okay, at the flowering stage, the stem is removed and it is immersed in water. It is soaked in water for a few days so that the stem rots. The outer covering will rot, and from inside the fibers can be removed. Okay, so these fibers are then dried and they are used as jute fibers. Okay, so this is about the natural fibers. So we have seen just one stage, that is step one, which is production or obtaining fiber from the plants. Obtaining fiber from plants. Next, we will be seeing about how is yarn produced from the fiber. The second step. Okay, the second step. So I hope you're enjoying this. See, we all wear very lovely clothes and we love to buy clothes and wear new clothes and get new designs of clothes, stitched, everything. But then the basic, the fabric, and inside the fabric, what is this fabric made up of? To learn about that is so interesting. So now you all can, every time you wear something new, the fabric, or you will know that yes, it is made up of fiber. And then we will also see how it is converted into the fabric stage. So first stage we have seen is the fiber stage. Okay. So read the lesson till there so that you all understand what has been taught and what is it that you need to know. Okay. So once you read the chapter, it will be more clear to you all. So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, this is Usha Mangipudi signing off.